What's up, future millionaires? I'm Mike the Investor, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the recent news that came out yesterday surrounding Justin's son leaving the TRON Foundation, or I should say stepping down from leadership from the TRON Foundation. Now, he made a tweet yesterday stating he is now taking his endeavors to be an ambassador for the Grenada government for the World Trade Organization. So in simplest terms, Justin's son is becoming a politician for the crypto side to further push crypto adoption. So what we're going to cover in today's video: number one, the tweet from Justin's son; number two, the price chart for TRON TRX, because it did see a nice decline yesterday with this news, even though the market was pretty much red yesterday. Number three, we're going to look at the news and some of the key details of this announcement from Justin's son. And then last but not least, we will dive into kind of my thoughts and something I found very interesting that he didn't mention in his exit from the leadership of TRON Foundation. So stay towards the end of the video to figure out what I'm talking about. Now, before we go ahead and dive into today's content, go ahead and take advantage of grabbing some free Bitcoin by using the Voyager and BlockFi link in the description below. But enough talking, let's jump into it. Alright, crypto investors, welcome back to the channel. Now, there are timestamps in the description below if you are looking for a specific section in this video. But let's dive into the tweet from Justin's son himself just to see what he has to say about this announcement. And so we can see that Justin's son says, "I have accepted the invitation and appointment of Grenada's government to officially serve as the ambassador, permanent representative of Grenada to the World Trade Organization in Geneva. I will be working in full capacity to represent Grenada's national interests to the WTO, also known as the World Trade Organization." Now, if we go over to the price chart here, we can see the market is up a little bit at 1.5%, currently at 2.3 trillion. Now, yesterday the market was down a little bit over 3% for the most part. And if we look at Tron here, it is still one of the top 25 cryptocurrencies according to CoinGecko rankings at number 23. We can see the price is right over 8 cents and is up about 0.8% on the day. And as we look at the market cap for Tron, we can see right around 8.2 billion, circulating supply over 101 billion for the total circulating supply. So as we move down to Tron, we are looking at the 7-day chart. And if you see right here, the news was made, you can see it was at 8.5 cents and this baby dropped down all the way to under 8 cents because of that news. Now, because the market has turned around a little bit today, you can see it's moved up a little bit over that 8 cents, but it's been kind of trading sideways a little bit, but it has moved up from under that 8 cents. All right, and so that's just briefly kind of the price chart, not a full detailed price chart on Tron, but just to kind of briefly show you what's been happening with crypto and where Tron currently sits right now. Now, I know a lot of people kind of just jumped out the window because they were like, man, Justin's son's leaving, I'm going to sell my tokens. And so that was the result of that decline in Tron, even besides the market being down yesterday about 3%. So that added just a little bit more to the fire. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the announcement and some of the key details based off of Justin's son moving towards politics and crypto and stepping down from the leadership of TRON Foundation. Let's check it out. Alright, so this article is coming from CoinDesk.com, and he also did an interview with CoinDesk, which is why I'm showing the article from CoinDesk, but this also made Yahoo News as well, so you can find this article on Yahoo as well. Now, the headline says, "Justin's son is retiring from Tron, but not crypto. The Tron founder is becoming an ambassador of the Grenada government to the World Trade Organization," which I briefly mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, let's go ahead and look at some of the key parts of what's actually going on with this news. And so the polarizing crypto entrepreneur said Friday he is leaving his brand child Tron blockchain to Tron token holders. And so Sunday, Justin's son said in his interview with CoinDesk that he is moving to focus on crypto legitimization in Latin America countries after witnessing Salvador's success in making Bitcoin legal tender. And so Justin's son goes on to say that my career in the future will focus on the legitimization of blockchain technology on the nation state level. So let's go ahead and move down a little bit further. Why Grenada, right? And he says the island nation recognizes English as one of the official languages and is geographically close to the US. It also has a strong educational system that includes one of the best universities in the region. Sun believes will be a hotbed of the future blockchain developers. Now, what goes on to say, if the legitimization of the blockchain industry in countries such as Grenada proves to be a success, it will be also potential to persuade the US and China to speed up or resume their blockchain efforts, Sun said. And so let's move down to the last section, which is thinking globally. And this is pretty interesting. He says we cannot fully rely on the US market, he said, and this is coming from Justin Sun. There are nearly 8 billion people in the world, and the US only has 300 million people. So the US market should not decide on crypto. More than 7 billion people left in the rest of the world. Now, I do have to say he definitely has a point, but the US does have a lot of power because they still have the Federal Reserve currency. But he definitely has a strong point here because only 300 million plus people in the US, and there's still over 7 billion people plus left in the world. And so there's a whole nother world out there beyond the state lines, of the US. And so this is very important when we're talking about crypto and blockchain being the future. But let's look at the last key statements of this article. He says Sun said that the Tron Foundation will dissolve by next year, and 3 supernodes associated with him have retired from Tron's technical grid this week. And so the 27 super representatives on the Tron blockchain will be elected by the Tron community. And so we can see pretty much all his power is leaving, and all of the influence and power will go to the Tron communities and the people who are the representatives for the governance on the Tron blockchain. And so Sun said he will continue promoting Tron's brand. So hear this, he's going to continue promoting Tron's brand while stepping away from the day-to-day operations at the Tron Foundation. So he did not address his remaining influence on Tron as the network figurehead and one of the largest bag holders of Tron. And so after looking at that article, we can see that Justin Sun is definitely stepping down from leadership from the Tron Foundation and the day-to-day operations. However, he's still going to be promoting it as well, which does make sense when you look at the role he's stepping into. Because if you think about it just kind of from this perspective, Justin Sun is stepping down from the leadership role of Tron, but if you're thinking about what he's going after to push crypto adoption, for other countries to help influence other countries to get on board, well, who's to say he can't influence Tron to be one of those blockchains to be used for other countries, right? And so I'll also see other things that some people may not be looking at. And so what does all of this mean, right? Well, the Tron Foundation was based off of how they make their, changes and things like that, in the ecosystem. And Justin Sun had pretty much the most influence over the entire ecosystem because of how many tokens and all of that stuff he held. Well, now since that's going to be going away, all of the changes and things like that on the Tron blockchain will go towards the community. Now, one thing that we didn't get from all of this news is we have no idea who's going to replace Justin Sun. Is someone going to replace Justin Sun? We have no idea. So the only thing we know is he's stepping down from day-to-day operations, and this is his next focus. We have no idea now what comes next for Tron as far as leadership. We do know what it's been able to accomplish, though. Remember, we have the Circle USDC partnership. Well, USDC is now supported on Tron. It also has the Valkyrie management firm investment for its own kind of exchange-traded fund for Tron. It's also listed on the largest US stock exchange. And so when you look at these things as well, besides leadership stepping down, you can see these are positive things that's happened for the ecosystem. Now, one thing that I thought was very, very interesting that Justin Sun did not mention at all, because we understand that Justin Sun is the founder of Tron and was the CEO of Tron. He's also the CEO of BitTorrent. He didn't mention that at all. So I find this very, very interesting, and I'm going to explain why. He's stepping down from Tron day-to-day operations, but he didn't say he's stepping down as the CEO of BitTorrent. And we look at what just happened for BitTorrent. The main net for BitTorrent chain just launched. And when we look at some of the tweets that he posted. He was super pumped up about it. And when we look at what BitTorrent chain is trying to accomplish, interoperability, allowing different assets to be moved very fast in a very inexpensive way using the BitTorrent chain and using the BTT token as liquidity. And so when you look at what he's going after as far as different countries to allow adoption, well, the BitTorrent chain is going to allow different assets to be exchanged in different countries. And so this was just something I thought was very interesting, that he didn't mention anything about BitTorrent. He said he's stepping down from Tron, but he didn't mention BitTorrent, but he's still the CEO of BitTorrent. And so I could be looking a little bit too much into it. Let me know what you think though in the comment section. But I felt since he's stepping down from Tron, which of course is his baby, wouldn't he mention he will step down from BitTorrent as well? I just found it very interesting, and honestly I'm waiting to hear more on what comes out about this information, because we have a limited information based off of what we know, but I thought this was very interesting. So with all that being said, what is my take on TRON TRX and BitTorrent BTT token? I still hold both of them, and my take hasn't changed on the two assets. However, I'm still waiting on more information to come out based off what's going to happen with Tron, which I also feel will influence BitTorrent as well. But I'm also hoping Justin Sun comes out with more information based off what's going to happen with BitTorrent, because based off of my understanding, he's still the CEO of BitTorrent but not Tron, which I find very interesting. So if you gain some value from this video, most importantly, you know what to do. Smash that like button and also share this out with the Tron and BTT community as well, so they can be aware of what's going on. But that is all I got for you. Remember to stay inspired, stay motivated, always invest in yourself, and I'm out.